Hey, Ben here from Blue Ladder, just going to walk you through another day in my life as a window cleaner. And I'm going to talk a little bit along the way about why it's so hard to start. Good weather today. It rained a little bit over the weekend. This first job is a gutter cleaning, and since it did rain, going to hand scoop most of it. Let's go see what we got. It all started this morning when I woke up and I just didn't want to get out of bed. You know, it's Monday, first day of the week. It's always the hardest day, right? And it all comes with the same kind of law of inertia. They always say get the ball rolling because that first push is the hardest push. But once you kind of get things going, you get that snowball effect where it builds, it picks up momentum. You got something going with you. You have a little velocity, a little push in your direction. And so you can begin to even coast, but you're still making progress. But it's always that first initial step that can be the biggest pain and almost impossible to get going. So there's a book, if you have an issue with this, or if you struggle in particularly, it's called Atomic Habits. And closed caption, I have not read the whole book yet, but what I do know about the book is there's a principle that he gives that if you just set up something at the micro level, instead of planning to lose 100 pounds, make your plan just to show up to the gym for 5 minutes. If you do those little things, the big things kind of fall into place. And so that first step is always the hardest. So if you can overcome that initial wall or that initial barrier to getting started, it makes all the difference. Because once you get into the gym, you figure, I'm here, might as well go ahead and do something. And you just, so your rule of thumb or your goal is not something grandiose, but it's something small that creates as minimal of a barrier in your mind as it possibly can be. Now, with me getting out of bed, thankfully I have children and they are like built-in biological alarm clocks. Like it or not, they're gonna wake you up in the morning and they're not gonna let you go back to bed. Whether they're leaving you alone or not, you're gonna hear their noise, they get into fights, little things come up, they need breakfast, you hear somebody spilt milk all over the floor, something always happens, right? And that gets you going. I'm not thinking about the long term of the day, how I have a full day ahead. I'm just thinking about there's an emergency right at this moment. And it's not good for you to stay at that spot. But if you can set little guidelines along the way that can get you going through the little things, that can eventually be segued into something bigger. And that's the ultimate goal here that I'm trying to talk about. If you start daydreaming about starting a business and you say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and I want to build a $5 million company or $1 million company, whatever it is, or I just want to have a full-time job cleaning windows. If you start with the end in mind, that's good, but sometimes it can be difficult to actually start. So you daydream, you research different tools, you find all the different things that could go wrong, and one thing leads to the next, and then all of a sudden you have a pattern and you create a habit of researching and consuming information but not doing anything. You know, they say on social media it's kind of follows the 80-20 rule where 20% of the people do 80% of the content, because most people get stuck consuming and never produce. And so the same thing happens with planning, goal setting, growing a business. It's that initial step that becomes the barrier for everything else. You can't win a race if you don't start. And that is the theme that I want to focus on today. I had to get up. I had to get out of bed. It didn't matter what little thing it was that set me off, that got me going. I had to start moving in order to go forward. All right, second job of the day. We got some window cleaning. Let's see how bad it is. Here we go. There's a Bible verse that says, the hand of the diligent will rule, but the slothful will be put to forced labor or to be made a slave. And it rings true in every element of life. And just to clarify, being diligent just doesn't mean doing hard work or putting your nose to the grind. It means responding quickly. You know, there's a lot of talk these days about people who can make decisions quickly are going to be able to be successful. And there is a place where that's very true, where otherwise you get into decision fatigue. You spend all day trying to make one decision and then you don't get anything done. Whereas if you're able to execute in a fast manner, that's being diligent. You hear what needs to be done and you do it quickly. You don't just make a plan to do it, but you act. And obviously there's wisdom and there's understanding that can be involved with that, that make a tremendous difference, because you can act quickly and just make mistakes. But if you have the end in mind, you know how you're going to get there, or at least the general direction that you need to be going in, then you can make decisions along that direction. And oftentimes, we spend way too much time debating in our own minds what the next step should be, or how we should take the next step, how fast we should do it. There's all different components. You know, when you start a business with window cleaning in particular, there's so many tools out there, different brands. People are always asking, what's the best squeegee? What's the best rubber? What's the best soap? Guys, those things don't really matter. You need a squeegee. You need soap. Just buy the cheapest one, buy the first one you see. It doesn't matter. Spending hours of time making one decision can be extremely costful, more costful than making the decision. Now, obviously, there's some nuance to that, but the gist of it is we can spend all day. What type of marketing should we do? Well, you're going to have to learn how to do good marketing. So pick a direction that seems best, that has a good, positive track record with other people in the same industry, and start digging into it. Learn about it. And then don't wait months and months before you do one campaign. Start doing it right away in a cheap manner. Experiment, figure out what begins to work, and then do it at a bigger level and scale it out. Same thing happens with day-to-day business. Start getting customers. Go door to door. Put out some postcards. Do some social media advertising. Whatever you want to do, just start doing it and get better along the way. I've obviously been doing YouTube for a little while now. Not long, just less than a year. And one of the big guys, Mr. Beast, I'm sure you all know who he is, he has the theme, just do 100 videos. And the goal is that those 100 videos are not going to be good. It's just that you begin creating things. You start getting used to the process. You start learning what doesn't work. That's just as valuable as learning what does work. Because sometimes what does work for somebody else isn't going to work the first time you do it, no matter how much you study it out. And so just like getting out of bed in the morning, that first step, rolling out of bed, is challenging. But once you get up, you have a little bit of momentum. You can start walking, you make a cup of coffee, the minimum thing that you can do, and then you're able to use that energy and move on to the next step. With business, it's the same way. You step forward, you start getting customers, you figure out what works better than other things. You find what your sweet spot, and you're able to do it better the next time, and it becomes easier. When if you're working two jobs at the same time, I've been very inspired by kind of this next generation coming up. I was talking to a young guy just last week who 17 years old, going to school full-time in high school, but every day on his way home, he does one window cleaning job. And with that, he made somewhere between $50,000 and $60,000 last year while he's going to high school. So there's no excuse, guys. If a young guy who doesn't know any better is able to just get up and go and make it happen, who can't do that? It's not complicated. It's not rocket science. I've done a little bit of rocket science when I was going to college before I dropped out to focus on a window cleaning company. And that can be challenging, but can be doable. But you can't do it until you start trying.
My final house of the day looks really big, but it'll happen quickly. So here we go.
I'll just give you one real life example. When I was in New York, I had been in business for 5 or 6 years, and I had multiple jobs turn me down for window cleaning because I didn't also do pressure washing. And it was a little frustrating. So I networked, I found a couple guys who could do pressure washing, who didn't really care to do window cleaning. And I began to send them work, and they would send me work a little bit. We were able to partner up on some larger jobs, did a couple of hospitals, and so things started working out well. But I said I want to learn how to do pressure washing. But you know how long it took me to actually start doing the pressure washing? It was over 2 years. I didn't start offering pressure washing as a service until the year that I left. My company would have been so much more valuable if on day one I would have said I need to figure this out and start doing it. We overcomplicate things in our mind. Yeah, with pressure washing, there's a lot that can go bad. People can use the wrong chemical on the wrong application, or they can use no chemical at all and destroy wood paneling. All kinds of problems happen. And so I was very afraid of making a mistake. So because of that, I looked up every day I was researching different things that could go bad and how to fix it. And so I was trying to figure out how to fix all the problems that might happen, that might also never happen, before I even bought a pressure washer. And then when it was time to buy a pressure washer, I spent months just trying to figure out what equipment I was going to use. And there was plenty of content out there, guys saying, all you need is this to get started. Buy something small, buy something simple. As long as it's 4 gallons per minute, they would tell me what to do. But I didn't do it. I wanted more knowledge. I just had the innate desire to know more before I would even begin. And that's the danger. Once I did begin, I had to go way back to the beginning and review all the stuff that I had studied for years. Thankfully, I did have a good reservoir built up, and so I maybe avoided some mistakes. But the thing is, until you actually start doing it and put to practice those principles, they don't really make sense in the same way. You don't latch onto them in the same way as when you're actually doing the work. So get started. Today is the day that you got to make your first decision and your first step forward. Over time, you will be able to see the reward for the work that you begin. There's no reward for being slothful. There's a reward for being diligent, for quickly moving forward to implement a plan. So come up with a plan, but don't spend too much time doing it. Do your research, but do it while you're doing the work. Guys, I'll see you in the next video.